As I was saying, it's a great honor for me to have been invited here today to celebrate with the people of the city of Scarborough International Nelson Mandela Day. First and foremost, I'd like to send my regards to the honorable member of the Provincial Parliament for Scarborough, Ms. Metsi Hunter, Mr. Matimba Chibuabua, President of the Congo Solidario, friends of South Africa, fellow compatriots, ladies and gentlemen. July 18 is the UN declared Nelson Mandela Day. It's an international day aimed at bringing people together to fight poverty and promote peace and reconciliation. President Nelson Mandela, who would have turned 96 years old today, this day comes without him being present in this world with us, and may his soul rest in peace. Today, we honor the man who took history in his own hands, the man who bent the arc of moral universe towards justice, a world-renowned statesman, a Pan-African hero, a man with the greatest capacity to forgive and reconcile, a man whom South Africa have also surrendered to this beautiful country, Canada, as an honorary citizen. Today, ladies and gentlemen, not only is it Nelson Mandela's birthday, as I said before, it is the International Day for Nelson Mandela. We, as the people of South Africa, and the UN and the United Nations, we like to join a call by the Nelson Mandela Foundation to devote 67 minutes of time to helping others as a way to mark Nelson Mandela International Day. This is because on this day we recognize that for 67 years, Nelson Mandela devoted his life to the service of humanity and the fight against injustice. As a human rights lawyer, a prisoner of consciousness, an international peacemaker, and the first democratically elected president of South Africa. So we call upon you to find a way today to dedicate 67 minutes of your time to show an act of kindness to someone else other than yourself in honor of our fallen hero. As a testament to the persona that Nelson Mandela was, I'd like to share with you a story that my former Consul General told me. She told me that immediately after President Mandela won the presidency of South Africa, on his first day of assuming office, this was immediately after the 1994 general elections. So you can imagine there was a bit of panic from the old administration. People wondering what's going to happen to them, their jobs. As you all might know, South Africa before 94 was divided according to racial lines. So on the first day as president, Mr. Mandela, when he stepped into his office, he noticed a number of staff, all white, from the previous administration, packing their belongings. He asked that they gather together. They believed that Mandela was enjoying the notion of firing them collectively. Instead, this was his message to them. He said to the people, I couldn't help noticing the empty offices as I come to work today, and all the packing boxes. Now, of course, if you want to leave, that is your right. And if you feel in your heart that you cannot work with your new government, then it is better that you do leave right away. But if you are packing up because you fear that your language or the color of your skin or who you served previously disqualifies you from working here now, I'm here to tell you, have no such fear. What's in the past is in the past. We look to the future now. We need your help. If you would like to stay, you be doing your country a great service. I ask only that you do your jobs to the best of your abilities and with good hearts. I promise to do the same. If we can manage that, our country will be a shining light in the world. This was Mandela addressing the people that previously were dominating against the black people. He showed compassion. He told them not to fear, not to be scared, that as the new coming black government, that there was no need for them to pack their boxes. They were not getting fired. It was a dawn of a new day. We're embracing a new government, and we had to come together as a people, not divided by color of our skin or religion, but let's try and build a new country together. Ladies and gentlemen, Mandela is renowned for many attributes. He is a human rights activist. He aspired to the values of reconciliation, forgiveness, and justice. So, to summarize his life, in the words of Dr. Sandy Klapman, Mandela's life and sacrifice was never about him. It was about and humanity. It was not about him. It was about the future of millions in the rainbow nation of South Africa. It was not about him. It was about going out of his comfort zone to understand the pain and the dreams of others and speak to them in a way that resonates with them. It was not about him. It was about passion from which millions could benefit. It was not about him. It was about replacing judgment and prejudice with tolerance and respect. His courage, his selflessness, kindness and ability to love and forgive brought about a nation united in the principles of freedom, equality, justice, non-racialism, non-sexism, non-segregation, and Ubuntu. These are the values enshrined in the Constitution of South Africa and are the values that bind us as South Africa. These are the values that humanity should live and strive for, as it is in human nature to love, to forgive, and to treat others fairly. It is therefore incumbent upon us to ensure that we protect and practice these values, that we pass them on to our children and to the future generations, because that is the only way to ensure the legacy of Nelson Mandela lives on. That was the formal part of my speech. But in trying, as a young South African myself, to understand what the great statesman did for our people. Can you imagine at one point I was sitting like you guys as a student, and when you come up in a country where you notice the divisions or the limitations that you have as an individual, it's quite difficult to espouse nothing greater when you don't know it. So in my life, at one point, the only hope that I had for my future was that I would finish my schooling and perhaps maybe I would become a bus driver or something of sorts. Because the type of education system that we had was segregated in such a manner that those are the only opportunities that could be afforded to me. I cannot claim to really know what my parents and the generation before me went through, because those are the people that were in the streets supporting the cause and fighting against the regime. All I remember was the late 90s. There was just jubilance around the community, and I didn't understand what was going on. But the name Mandela was synonymous with our freedom. Then came elections. Then I understood, or I had a sense of hope and vision and faith in my own future, that I can dream further than the limitations that I put upon myself. It was because our people now were afforded the freedom to assimilate and to have same aspirations as our own counterparts in the community. So through the freedom and the sacrifices of Nelson Mandela and his administration, through the social programs that they provided for our people, I managed to find myself in a university institution, all paid for by my government, and to be standing here today as a young South African diplomat. So this meant to us as South Africans, he's not just a role model, but he's an embodiment of what we are as a people. Through our challenges and our strives, we always look towards him, the ability to forgive, the ability to sit down with whoever you don't get along with and talk amongst ourselves and find a solution to whatever challenge we find ourselves in. He has taught us many principles, but forgiveness is one of them, compassion is one of them, equality, democracy, and the freedom to assimilate. I thank you.